Hey there folks, Pliskin by 51mm. Today I figured I'd do some videos about some knives. This is my new knife that I got from Mayor Fugly Cool. And then I've got the Chinese KaBar, the fake KaBar, the one that everybody got mad that I called fake. And then the real KaBar, actual USMC KaBar. I'm going to talk about the one Mayor Fugly Cool gave me, just kind of going to give a quick video about it. Because I said I was going to do an individual video about it. According to Mayor Fugly Cool, it is called a Rostfrei knife. It is he says the Dagger is Rostfrei steel, and it's made in Germany. I'll get it out here. Let me set my phone down. I don't want to bump my camera. I've already sharpened it. It's a Raider 1. As you can see, there's some oil on the blade there on the coating from where I sharpened it. And despite the fact that it's made of stainless steel, both sides took an edge real well. It's razor sharp now. Well, I wouldn't say razor sharp. I've got it to where it will lift still. And he said it is very resistant to salt water and should not rust. And he said, but it should be a rust-free knife. The Raider knives are very good boot daggers, and in a pinch it will definitely help you out in a bad situation. And I've already been wearing it on my boot, and it works wonders on as a boot knife, this little knife, because I've already had it on and went walking with it. It just clips down over your boot lip there on the side, this tab here, this metal tab. And while this part right here pokes you just ever so slightly, this tab here, it pokes you ever so slightly, you forget that it's doing it after a while. And if you adjust it around and find a position inside your boot, you can get it to where this doesn't touch you at all. But it is a very nice boot knife for just having on you, and you know, nobody would know that you've got it on. Because I've had other boot knives. I had one that was kind of like this one. It looked kind of like it, but it was smaller, and it was serrated on one side. You can go, if you guys go back to like one of my very first knife collection videos, you'll see it. I think I still have it, but that one required that you loop the shoelaces in the sheath, like it had holes in the sheath, and it's supposed to go over the tongue of your boot. And that one was alright until you started flexing your foot upward toward, like, you know, back toward your shin, and then the handle of the knife would be bumping into your shin, and that got real old real quick. And you would know it was there. But this one, it's out of the way. It's on the side of the boot, and you don't feel it after a while. I got it real sharp. So I am glad I have this. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor Fugly Cool, for giving me this knife. Yeah, it's a very nice knife. It's lightweight too. It doesn't weigh anything. Let's see if I can find the balance here. About right there. It's kind of rear heavy in the back on the handle, as you can see. It tilts backwards, but the balance is about right there in the handle, right below the hand guard. Oh, the guard there. The hilt, that's a better way to say it, the hilt of the knife. Balance is right there. Right there where it needs to be. So it's perfect in the hand. I had thought about when I first got it, when I first started handling it, after I got it out of the package the other day, I had thought about stippling the grip, because I wasn't sure, because when I first felt it, it felt like this was plastic. I was like, oh, I could stipple the grip, but after, you know, holding it a little bit and wearing it and just fingering it, you know, grabbing hold of it and everything, I do believe the handle is all steel too. So I don't think the blade is all steel construction. like it's all one piece. As you look down there in the hilt, it looks like the blade is recessed. Come on, focus. The blade is recessed into the handle. But the handle is made of steel too. As you can see there's coating that's wore off. Up above the camera. There's coating there that is wore off on the hilt and on the pommel too. So there's no stippling the handle on this. That would have been cool because I could have got to have customized it my way. But I may get some of that really aggressive, like baseball bat tape for that they put on the baseball bat handles. That's what I meant to say. And wrap around that so I can get a better grip of it, you know, and it don't go flying out of my hand. I don't think it would, but I don't know. It's really smooth, the handle is, and I don't know how that would translate to water or mud or, God forbid, blood. If you were to, you know, get a hold of that, and it may go slipping out of your hands if it got wet. It is textured, but it's like nothing that would, like, you know, dig into your glove or your hand. But I guess you can make it do. This isn't supposed to be a this isn't supposed to be a primary knife. It's a backup knife all the way. So that's what it is. But the Raider 1 by Rostfrei. Rostfrei. I'm butchering the name. So far I like it, and it feels good in my hand. I don't know if I'll do any chopping on it because I really don't want to damage it, but I will continue to wear it and give my opinion on it after, like, say, about a year of wearing it, and let you all know how I think of it, like I did my USN Mark 1. Okay, this next topic. Alright, the second part of this video is in response to a viewer who was asking about these two knives that was on my video where I compared the two, you know, because you got the real KaBar and you've got the fake KaBar. I'm going to keep calling it a fake KaBar too. Everybody got mad that it's technically a clone or something. They didn't, because it doesn't try to pass itself off as a KaBar because it doesn't have the word KaBar written on it, but I don't care. I mean, because the profile of them is so similar. At a yard sale or something, you could see this one and think it's the real, you know, actual KaBar here. And if you didn't know what to look for, you would think that this was the legit KaBar. But I'm just going to keep calling it the fake KaBar because to me it's a fake. But anyway, I had a viewer by the name of Paul Watt. He was asking for steel quality tests, please. That was his first comment. That was 3 days ago. And I said, I can say the China knife is stainless steel, and the KaBar is 1095 Crovan steel. I said that much I can say. If I had two extras on hand of either one, I would do a torture test, but I'm not going to take a chance of destroying my USMC. Yeah, I'm not going to damage this one beyond repair, because that's the only full-length fixed blade KaBar I've got, and I'm not going to compromise this one. This one I could beat all to hell and back all day. I've thrown it at trees and stuff like that. I've got no problem tearing this one up because it's the steel in it's abhorrent. Paul Watt then asked 2 days ago, said yes, fair enough, and thanks for replying. I guess my question really is if the Chinese one is a wall hanger, or would you actually be confident using it? And then I said to him, I said, sorry for the wait on the reply. Said you can use the Chinese one for moderately heavy work, but I wouldn't trust it to survive long escapades for a long length of time. I use it for jobs that may damage my actual KaBar beyond repair. And I have used it for that. Between the two of them, this one is of much better quality, of course, because it's actually made here in the United States, and it's made in Olean, New York by KaBar. It's got better steel. You can sharpen it easier. I've tried to sharpen this one, and it just doesn't go nowhere. It's a waste of time to try and sharpen this KaBar. Well, KaBar, but between the two of them, you could definitely use this one for a lot heavier work, I'd say. It would probably go a lot longer time before breaking on like chopping and stuff. But I simply don't use it for the real heavy work because, like I said, it's the only one I've got. And if I break this one, I'd have to go and get a new KaBar. Something has scratched the hell out of the finish right there on both sides. That wasn't there the other day when I sharpened it. Huh, that's weird. But you could definitely use this one for heavier work, but this one you can use for heavy work as well. And I use this one like back in the summer to dig up like a stone pathway, like stone pads that are deep in the ground where they've sat for a long time. I used it for that, to pry them up out of the dirt. As you can see, it's got the dirt and everything still, and it's scratched all to hell and back. See there where it's like big long gashes into the steel. And that's not in the coating either. That's down into the blade on both sides. And it held up pretty well doing that as a like a makeshift hoeing type of tool to dig into the dirt and lift up concrete stone pads out of the ground. So it worked pretty good for that. And I used it for that because I didn't want to damage this one, because it's the only one I got, and I want to keep this one alive as long as I can, because this one is far more handy for, like, cutting and stuff, because this one's a lot sharper. I can sharpen this one a lot easier. And this one, while I can't sharpen it, I mean, I've tried, but it won't hold an edge. I can't sharpen it, but it makes a better, like prying tool. I mean, I could chop with it. It is moderately sharp enough to chop with, but I wouldn't trust it very long, because as you can see here, the pommel, hear that? That dude is loose. So you can see here. Oop, bumped the camera. See that? Trying to keep the camera from moving. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. This dude, you use it too long, too hard, and it will disintegrate. It will eventually break and come completely apart, which is fine, because this one has sat and gathered dust since 2012, basically, ever since I got this one. And I no longer saw the use or need for this knife until recently, when I realized I could use it for jobs that may damage my fully functional actual KaBar. So yes, you can use the Chinese one for heavier work. I just would not expect it to live very long doing it. Whereas this KaBar, I could probably use it I probably could have used this one for the same job of taking them stone plates or pads out of the dirt, and it would have held up just fine. The pommel back here wouldn't be loose. I mean, there's no shaking this one at all. Just look, I'm shaking that, dude. There's no shaking that at all. But it's my only full-length KaBar for the moment. I'm thinking about getting another full-length one. I may get the Army serrated, or it's got serrations up through here. I'm also looking at K-X, their variation of the USMC. It's like a clone to the KaBar. I've been looking at that one because that one looks nice. The back end of the blade is sharp right here on that one, whereas on the KaBar it's dull. Somebody on that video I did where I compared these two originally, they seemed to believe that the edge was sharp back here on KaBars, and it simply isn't. I mean, I'm pushing my thumb down into it and it's, you know, not getting cut. But the Case XX version of the KaBar has it sharpened right here. So that is what I think, and that is what I have used the two respectively for. The fake one I could use definitely for, you can use it for hard work, but it just wouldn't survive very long doing it. I mean, what little I put it through digging those stone pads up has caused the pommel to, you know, go back and forth violently. So you could use it, but just know that eventually, and probably really quick too, if you used it for such a hard, strenuous job for a long time, it would probably break really quick, whereas the other KaBar would survive a lot longer. So anyway, that's a little knife video I had planned in the back of my head. I just now been able to get around to it. I talked about the knife Mayor Fugly got me. Wonderful knife. And I turned my answers to Paul Watt into a video for content's sake, because I figured other people would be curious about that as well, because I've had a lot of comments on that video about this knife and people wanting to know what the, you know, if it would be worth buying or using. I mean, for 2012 prices, I think I bought that knife for like 12 bucks or something. You could use it, put it this way, I mean, you'd be a lot better off to buy the real actual KaBar instead of wasting money on this one. Well, I guess it really, for $12, I guess it really wouldn't be considered a waste of money compared to like the $80, $60 KaBars go for, or higher. But I mean, if you want a good beater knife that you don't care about and you just, you know, need for little obscure tasks, that just everyday yard work, this one would be a good candidate for that, because it can't hold an edge to save its life. I've tried everything I can to sharpen this one, and it just it won't take an edge. It's nothing compared to these two here. Well, anyway, guys, this has been Pliskin by 51mm, and I'll see you all in the next video.